Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of SPAC Chat this week. You know, Corey is having a little connectivity issue, so I'm doing the intro and the rest of it, et cetera. And today, we have a program that might be of great value to a number of some of the projects that we do. Some of the schools, because of the sizes, the leagues, we're having some connectivity issues here, and I'm not sure what that's about. So preschools is an avenue that allows you to get into a marketplace at with a different mindset and with a different purpose, perhaps. I know working with little kids and getting down on the ground might not be everybody's cup of tea, but at the end of the day, we're talking about how do we help people grow their business, whether it be during the off season, whether it be they isolate and select this particular genre of the business to work in. We really want to help people grow their business. So I'm going to bring other folks on. Corey is popping in and out, and that's what happens. We'll see how she works out during the course of this conversation. So we've got a couple of three wonderful people that do preschools. Some of them have been presenters at our SPAC conference, and some will be presenters at the upcoming conference. So let's get together and introduce them. Go ahead, Laura. Lauren Moore is with Snap Happy out of Alabama.
Yes, sir. Okay,
Yes,
I'm Lauren Moore. We run a boutique school photography company. We've been doing preschools for 4 years now, and we absolutely love it. I have gotten to completely step out of the schools, and I have an incredible team that goes in and they do, the photographing, and they take care of all of our schools in just the best way so that I can work on acquisitions. I can do everything on the back end and customer service. And it has been fantastic. Like, I love preschools. I feel like it's exactly what I've waited for my entire life. Like, I've stepped into it, and it is by far my favorite thing I've ever done. I started in portraits 15 years ago. I've always shot children and families, and this was just a natural progression. I had my 2 kids. I wanted to be home on my weekends, and preschools has afforded me that. It's been so successful and so needed.
Wonderful. All right, Miss Tia Norsom with Norsom Photography. Tia I'm kind of mixed up. Which one of you are going to be speaking at next year's conference?
Not me this year.
Okay, so it's Lauren. Lauren is she's going to be one of the presenters at the upcoming conference. That's a wonderful thing. But Tia Norsom with Norsom Photography, located out in Chicago. Tell us a little bit about your company.
Sure. So I started my family and baby portrait business in Chicago back in 2008, and it just naturally progressed into preschools in 2016. And I just want to emphasize that preschools are a great place to start for solo photographers that have been photographing families and babies and love the little toddlers. So 2016, and then I moved to Colorado in 2018. So some people that might have heard me speak at SPAC in the past, that's usually I talk about how I run my business remotely and was sort of forced into hiring a team pretty quickly. I live in Colorado, business is in Chicago, and we just keep adding and growing preschools. And we love this market. The photographers I hire adore children. And I think that's first and foremost number one, and what makes preschool photography slightly different, in that you really have to understand the different ages and stages and milestones of the little ones in order to really capture the expressions that parents love. And then parents want to buy them all. So that's the other amazing part of preschools. You can have a really high.
And you mentioned that you actually moved away from your core business and are operating it in a remote fashion, which certainly means that the business is a scalable business. Yes. And you're able to do business in whatever market you so choose to finance and establish a team in, which is a very powerful statement about the benefits of it. Let me ask this question, and then of course we're going to come into Nikki Do. What is the average start time for a preschool and end time for the average preschool? Because I think that's a critical thing for people to understand. You know, it could be just a half day or a couple of hours. It's not you're there for the whole day.
Yeah, I'd say that's the biggest benefit. Is it's definitely a morning sort of job, and it's a great job for a photographer that is a mom with kids at home, like Lauren. And when I started, I had little ones at home also, and that you can be done and be home by noon or 1. Usually the schools want to kick you out by about 11:30 when they're starting to feed the toddlers and getting everyone down for nap time. So around 11:30.
I got you.
We start around 8 a.m. We get there about 7:45. We set up, make sure everything is good to go, because at 8, sometimes there's still drop-offs. And so we are always, I tell my girls, we have to be done by 11:30, latest at 12. If it's 12, it's because we had a lot of non-sitters and criers, but absolutely by 11:30 if at all possible, because the day's not going to get better until they get that nap in. So
yeah. Hey, Nikki Doo. I think everybody knows who Nikki Doo is. She's been with us and been a member and a participant, an active, engaging participant with our organization for a number of years now. And Nikki Doo, what are the percentage of buy rate? What do you think the average in the industry for preschools, the percentage of buyers?
I think for a whole in America, it should be at least 85. In Hawaii, it's 99 to 100%. Wow. I get 100%. Yeah. So I've been in our industry since 1998. Started off in film. And so, but I can just say one thing about our industry. It's alive, it's thriving, and it's not going to go away. Preschool photography will not be replaced by any computers or AIs or an ID maker. We will always have a place in our communities photographing young children in preschools.
That's an interesting one. And I noticed the stack of boxes that you have. You've run out of room in a storage room, but you seem to be getting ready to ship a whole lot of units. Yes, indeed. Good for you.
So we do everything in Hawaii. I print, we send out, we do online, we have studios. So we're a vertical studio. We do.
Now, let me ask a question about prepay, postpay, online ordering and that sort of thing. Talk to us about what each of you are doing. You can feel free to share your provider, whoever you're using as your primary hosting source. This is, this is reality. Let's talk. Go ahead, Lauren, tell us.
We actually just started using Photo Day. We're super excited. Before that, when we first started, we started on Pixie Set and then Shootproof, and everything was very manual. Everything on the back end was taking a lot of time. And so we finally made that jump to a volume platform, which I can't recommend enough. And when we were walking through it, learning the process, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad they're doing that for me. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad they're doing that for me. So when I started, and I would tell anyone that wanted to get into it, if you want to start with something like Shootproof, sure, get your feet wet. But just as soon as you can scale it into something that is volume specific, do yourself a favor and just do it. Just take the leap and do it. But yeah, so that's how we deliver. We use Photo Day. Our parents can come in. It sends them text reminders. It sends them email reminders so that they're almost doing the marketing for us, which is amazing because they're moms like me. And if someone's not constantly reminding me of something, I'm not going to remember. So
no. Tia, what are you guys doing?
Well, like Lauren, we also started with Shootproof, doing everything manually, but quickly I switched after we had a couple schools to Got Photo. And Got Photo integrates seamlessly with our print lab, Color Ink, and we do direct ship to home. They really use beautiful boutique packaging, so it kind of maintained our brand and in terms of really wanting to have very clean, nice packaging.
Sure.
And you can do inserts, customized promotional inserts if you'd like. So yeah, Got Photo's been great for us.
And then you, Nikki, in Hawaii, you're not forced, but it certainly is a lot more efficient. for you to bring all of those production processes in-house. You're hosting your images through which company though?
We are hosting through Zenfolio still.
Okay.
And we also are still doing order forms.
Yeah.
And we have 3 different types of programs. We went back to doing order forms this spring to teach our customers how to order prints. I think that being online is amazing. And I think that there is space for being online. So this year, I just was a little curious how it was going to work. But because preschool teachers have relationships with their families, you can still do order forms in a really seamless way. And what was really nice was the 2 or 3 parents that didn't order from order forms, or grandma and grandpas could still order online. So we did both this year. Now, if you're going to talk about money and prices, order forms, you make more money because there's less fees, right? You know, it doesn't cost as much to do an order form like it does online. So for us, it worked out really well this year. Another awesome thing about doing order forms and having prints on it is it gave the school that aha effect again. Oh my God, the pictures are so cute. And we needed to bring the excitement back to our families. I feel like coming out of COVID and everybody was going online, people got tired of ordering stuff online. Giving them an order form, I just found it was so much easier this spring is when we pushed it out. And we have different programs for different schools. So, yeah. So we do both.
Yeah, and part of your 99% sales value, or 98.99, could be that extra pickup of 18 points from an 80% average that you spoke of, could be directly related to the fact that you are giving them a paper proof that gets in their hands, and they're like, oh, wait a minute, let me go ahead and do this. Whereas, as Lauren shared, if they're not getting reminded, hey, you need to go online and do this, you know, we're putting actually, you know, although the vehicles that have been created by the various entities, Captura, Photo Day, Got Photo, you know, all of them, they're wonderful, and they have a very valuable purpose, but they can't replace that physical thing that folks have had all along. The other piece that really you kind of highlighted, the school doesn't see the work. So when they get somebody calling to say, hey, I don't like my picture, the school has no reference point for the work. Whereas in sending a proof, they actually get to, whoa, these are nice. I like these. These are cool. No, I don't know. I saw his picture, her picture. You know the story. So I think that there's benefits, obviously, in both of them. And the idea of doing a proof program in the way that you're doing it for non-prepay, I would believe that you're doing that for the non-prepay people. I think that's a very prudent and wise thing to do from a marketing and sales position. So good for you.
I just wanted to share too, and I don't know how many of you photographers, preschool photographers know this, but back in the day, when nap time was over, we would have to go back to the schools with printed pictures and sell them. So that only stopped in 2016 and 17. I want to say 2019 was my very last school that I had to go to and show all the pictures. We would print 12 sheets, 3 poses, 4 sheets per pose, and we would have to sell it to the parents face to face. So going to, being in the different phases of our industry and seeing where it's gone, I think having tangible products in the young generation's hands gives it more value, because if we don't start teaching them how to buy prints, it's going to be harder for elementary, middle school, and high school family or companies to sell pictures. And what are we in the business for? We're in the business of selling school pictures. And that was one thing that I really wanted to say strongly today. I feel like the preschool photographers also have a mission to teach parents how to buy pictures.
Wow.
I love that.
And by doing that, we are providing them sizes, options, and not as much thrills as you think. The other products that families buy are great, but the margins are low. You sell a cup, how much you make? $3, $4? When you sell a print, you make $10 to $15. I don't know. I make $19 off of one sheet that I sell. So my margins are higher on a sheet than it is for a product. I think products are good for reorders. Like you put that in. Of course, there's some products that are always going to sell, like magnets, right? We're always going to do that. But I think it's really important for our community to remember, and especially if you want to scale in the future, when you have a relationship of buying packages, when you go into the elementary schools like I have, guess what happened? Everybody still spends $100 on pictures. People are still buying these large packages from preschool. What happened in my company is I use the same preschool prices as I do as elementary.
Mm-hmm.
Phantom that. And nobody's complaining because I've already had that system in place for so many years. So I think that it's schools are lucky that we're around because we're actually that first photographer. And if we do our jobs right, they're always going to buy school pictures.
I love that. That's such a great way of thinking of that. That's great.
That's why she's one of our star presenters each year. She presents things in a way that, whoa, I didn't, we don't think about it. All of us have different life experiences, and those life experiences come together to formulate our actions in the present, right? And so hers is through experience, and as well as, quite candidly, her isolation, because Hawaii can be categorized as isolated, and she has to develop the marketplace, etc., for herself. So she's actually creating a system without even knowing it, probably not even intentional, but she's creating a system where you said something critical. We're teaching them how to go about buying this print product from preschool, because we need them to buy that product. Even if we're not doing preschools, we want our fellow photographers selling them the regular school pictures, selling them their high school pictures. We want them to be successful. So let's help teach them from the beginning. I love that, and it makes perfect sense. All right, so now let's get down into the nitty gritty of it. Let's talk about the equipment needs for a project, for running a preschool program. Oftentimes, I would think that the equipment has been dwindling in size and in the volume that we have to take on site. Are we using physical props on our pictures, and what are they, and how are we transporting them? So go ahead. Who's the first one to stab at that? Pia, can you jump on that first?
Sure. I mean, I probably have this like simplest approach. We just use typically a gray or a white pop-up. So our approach is kind of more of modern headshot style, some full body, but we use one light. We use alien bees with a parabolic umbrella and a reflector. So we've got 2 light stands, sandbags, the alien bee light, the umbrella, and then we have our backdrop and flooring. So we do have we're not carrying or lugging big heavy flooring. It's usually paper or like mouse pad type of material. We order from Kate's Backdrops or Intuition Backdrops. So we try to just roll those up, and the photographers wheel them in a wagon. And it's pretty simple, in a little chair or a little apple box. And that's about it. No other props apart from that for us, but that's just our personal style.
And then you didn't speak to cameras. Are you supplying cameras, or are your folks using their equipment as independent contractors because you are remote?
Right. It depends. So I do have a couple employees and they use my cameras. And then I have some independent contractors that have their own companies and they use their cameras.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. And what about you, Lauren? Are you bringing props on site similarly?
Sort of. My style is quite different than Tia's. Tia has a beautiful classic, experience that she offers her parents. And we are that themed, like, changes every season company. And so we also order from Kate Backdrop. So we usually have our backdrop, our 2 stands. We also do the mass pad flooring, which I cannot recommend enough.
What is that called?
It's a rollout floor, and it's like a texture of a mouse pad. It looks like wood, or we have one that looks like cobblestone. We offer our directors a choice of 2 to 3 backdrops every year that change each season. They can also pick a solid if they want to. We can do it outside if their facility allows for that. We bring a seating option. This year we have our backdrop that we're calling Primary School, and we actually have one of the chairs that looks like it's made of pencils, and then we have an apple stool that literally looks like a giant apple. Super, super cute. My very first season, I was the one like bringing all these heavy props, loading it in, and it was exhausting, and that changed immediately. It was a lesson that I learned immediately. But we're using 2 lights for everyone. So we shoot typical schools, and we also shoot schools that specialize in children with special needs. Our special needs schools, we use continuous lighting. It helps make sure that we're not going to have any reactions to it. It keeps them calmer. They know what to expect already when they walk on set. It also, if we have any that tend to elope or anything like that, if they hit a light stand and it goes down, the bulbs are plastic. There's not going to be anything they can do to destroy them. So we take our continuous lights in for those. The setup is the same. And then as far as our cameras, we're Nikon shooters. I provide all the cameras for my girls because I want it to be super consistent as far as coloring, everything like that. We shoot with a 50 millimeter unless we are in just a space that we have. One school we shoot in their lobby. Well, and we have our 35 for that. But we shoot with a Nikon Z6 because I'm obsessed with the eye tracking. And it's almost impossible to not catch a 2-year-old in motion with that eye tracking. So that's what we've opted to do. We love it. So I provide the girls everything. They have a nice little branded wagon they tote everything in with because, again, my first school, I was toting everything by myself. And I got a wagon that afternoon at Walmart. So we've stuck with that as we've grown over the years.
And they pick up equipment on each day, or do you assign them equipment that they carry during the week? Or
they have their own equipment. They have their own wagon. They have the backdrops that we offer that season. They know the week before which ones they're going to need on what days. So they pack it themselves. And if they're not going to be working for a week or something like that, if they're, then they'll bring everything back to me. But yeah, other than that, it's all, they each have their own setup.
Excellent. And how far out do you actually go? How far drive?
Fun thing about us is we're actually growing into other cities. Our goal is to become multi-city within the next 2 years. So we currently service about 4 counties right around our hub area of me. That stretches us out about an hour. And then we have just taken on the city of Birmingham, which is the city about an hour and a half from us. We're setting up a hub there. We have a territory leader there that is going to be running the show. And then next year, we are hoping to be over in Georgia and starting in Carrollton, which is about an hour to the other side of us. So our goal is just to kind of inch as we go and just become, scale that way and get bigger. So
good for you. All right, Nikki Do, what's the equipment with you?
That sounds so cute. So I'm still.
That was kind of cute, wasn't it?
It was. So Nikki Do, I'm still using the old posing table. So I have a posing table still, and we put the wagon in the back of it just in case somebody falls, but they don't. And then we use a arm poser. So I'm doing only headshots, body poses, sibling poses, things like that. So our clean look is another thing that I've created in Hawaii for a long time. And every time I've tried to add the cute background or do something different, parents don't like it. So I'm sticking to what parents want with no complaints. I started something and it's very iconic. I can say I'm very iconic in Hawaii. Like that's what they expect me to do. And everybody loves it. So that would be the one thing that I believe is you need to do what is strong in your territory. We're all different. And in Hawaii, because we have so many different types of cultures, they just want clean pictures. And
Interesting.
yeah, so, but you have to know your clientele.
Well, it was very interesting. You posed the question, parents didn't want it. And it's real interesting because you didn't do any market survey or analysis prior to implementing that program. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't move forward because, we make decisions. Sometimes we have to do something and it's got to be done. So let's do it. On the other hand, you're absolutely right. Your marketing has to target your finished work has to target the audience that you're actually serving, which is very critical. And I've always thought that we have to get out of our own head to analyze issues because we're already bringing a bias. When we like something, we already have a bias towards it, and we're looking for affirmation oftentimes. And the people in our office trying to please us will give us a little bit of negative, but they read our faces and they say, he's not like that answer. So they modulate their position to be more comfortable. It's human behavior. There's nothing anybody's doing. So in light of that, and with what you're sharing, it would be absolutely prudent for everybody before you make radical changes and shifts in the product that you're going to deliver, get some parents to look at it that are neutral. Get parents or people that are neutral, that are not afraid of telling you that sucks.
I actually got one of the cute little baby backdrops, like was mentioned.
Yeah.
I thought it was super cute for graduation, and I had a parent physically come in and share her opinion, and I thought it was strong. And after talking to the school about it and to other parents, we don't need that. And that was good, right? At least I tried. I mean, I'm always going to try. I think you should always try new things in your districts. And
be willing to receive what you perceive as negative when they're simply trying to give you their advice from where they sit.
Because the bottom line is I'm serving them and they're buying our pictures. And so I've learned is I can't have my opinions in it. It's what the market is doing.
And then, so let's move to that equipment thing still. And you're typically, I hear one basket with all the stuff in it. What are you doing?
So old school, I still use strings on my alien bees to measure the length. And we have a table. We are moving from Canons to Fujis this year. So I bought all new Fuji cameras, mirrorless. And so we are changing. But for our outside work, I am staying with my old Canons because we're also, I'm going to throw out a Hawaiian word for you guys. We're all ma'a. We all know how to use our equipment. And when you change equipment, you also have to allow yourself some flexibility in it. So our outside shoots that we do, we're going to be using our old equipment in it because we do one light, we use backlighting, and it's just easier for us to adjust because we know the skin tones. And that was the last thing that I wanted to share. I'm really strong on skin tones. That's why I print myself, is because in Hawaii, our skin tones are more yellow, when on the mainland, they're more magenta. So that's another thing that I've learned through this process throughout the years is you kind of got to know how your sun is hitting your kids because it changes. Every state is different.
Now, each of you, Tia, you're sending yours out. Lauren, you're sending yours out, and Nikki, you're doing yours in house. Let me talk to the people that are sending them out. How are you when you send? For instance, you're talking about photo that you'll be shooting directly into their system. Candid Color allows that. All of them can allow you to do it, but they're not sending the images out. Are you having retouching? Are you doing retouching or any work to those images, extractions, prior to them going up? Or have you built it into your system that it gets extracted? What are you doing?
Nothing comes from those cameras to those parents' eyes until I've touched it, seen it, gotten my hands all over it. I go through and every one of our images gets culled and edited by me. That's how I ensure quality control. And then they're uploaded. But yeah, I touch every single thing before a parent ever lays eyes on it.
So you better start using the word "we" and find you somebody else if you plan to grow.
This year, actually, my lead photographer is stepping back into a back end role. She's actually going to become our studio manager, and she is starting to take on some of the editing. And by take on some of the editing, I sit here and she sits here, so I can keep, and I'm excited for when I don't have to feel like I have to look anymore, and I get to just give that part of my business to someone who has a lot better. She can get something done in 2 hours that I can do in 6 because I'm hopping from one thing to the other that I need to get done, and she can just focus on it. It's amazing. Like, we have a beautiful relationship together, and it's amazing.
Good for you. Yeah. What about you?
So I am definitely not touching every image. Lauren, that might change for you after
Right.
You grow. So I train each photographer on what my expectations are in terms of color, temperature, cropping, exposure, and all of that. We have tried to do monitor calibration across everyone's computers and then print matching with color ink. So they'll send you, you can do like 8x10s and then they'll send it back and you can match it to your monitor. So we have tried that. I'd say it's probably not the most consistent. It's a little challenging when we're going to an elementary job and we have multiple cameras, all different cameras. So that's something I'm trying to work out. But, generally speaking, I give them guidelines and they know what I want the finished image to look like. So a little bit on the cooler side. So there's also just some personal taste there as well.
Your brand is so strong too, Tia. Like, you can see one of your images and you know exactly who it belongs to. It's so strong.
Oh, good. Thanks. And that's not me doing the editing on it. So
there you go. I love that.
Totally understood. Now, Nikki,
and let me say goodbye, though. I do have to leave.
Yeah, you.
Sorry.
We truly appreciate. Don't be sorry. You gave up your time, and this time is valuable, and we truly appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
See you at SPAC.
See you at SPAC. And if anyone's watching that has any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to support the industry. So
why don't you shout out your email?
It's info@norsumphotography.com.
info@norsumphotography.com. That's NORSYM. All right, Ms. Tia. Looking forward to seeing you in a few short months.
Bye, y'all.
Take care. All right, Nikki, you're doing yours in-house.
Yeah,
you're doing yours in-house, and I think to understand how in-depth we get. Like, Lauren's touching every image. I could not fathom the concept. I'm all good. It's all good for you, but that ain't functioning for many of us. Nikki, what are you doing in-house in your in-house environment? Are you touching every images? Are you batch processing everything? What software are you using before it gets to print?
So we barely edit anything because it's already photographed well. So we're only cropping and putting it on. But what we use for editing is called Evoto. So everybody knows I'm a huge Evoto girl. I have been partnering with them and giving them ideas, and they come back and they listen, and I love them. Evoto has saved me hours and hours and hours of time. So you can batch things in Evoto, and that's been my, I just took I actually get days off now because I found that Evoto has been my go-to, changing backgrounds. All I do is make sure that faces are clean and that their hair is neat. And then sometimes I'll change backgrounds. And Evoto does it all. And if a parent wants particular things, I go back into Evoto and I don't get recharged. So you can edit the same image over and over again in Evoto. And if you notice the new things that they have in it, you can, it actually kind of looks like Photoshop and Lightroom now. So the features are getting stronger and stronger. It's just been my lifesaver. But it is important, and I will say this, that what you give to a parent makes them feel good.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you're giving to a family member, you have to remember, especially I think in our world, we do more proofing programs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hear prepaid. I've always been a proofer. You want to make sure that that parent is looking at images that they can smile at, because everybody's tired and worn out. And we get the opportunity to bring joy to them, including the kids. When I give proofs on a piece of paper and the kids see it, it makes them feel good. So the pictures that we take are always clean and happy. And we always make sure our number one rule is, will a parent find joy looking at these images?
That's a phenomenal philosophy right there. It is. And I've always said that you do too damn much, but that's coming from an old person.
Stay strong.
That's correct. You keep doing what you do. Because I think what you're sharing is very valuable and is very insightful. Does your philosophy carry through all genres of the photography, or is it preschool?
No, it does. We are doing so in our middle schools, our elementary to seniors. We're doing proofing programs too. We do a right, left, and personality pose. We do not know what kids feel and what they think looks good. Perfect example today, a senior ordered something I would never order. So you never know. The most important thing, though, with elementary schools is that we call the kids by name, and we have multiple stations, so we have a little bit more transition. So most photographers would have 2 photographers, we would have 3. These kids are different these days. You need more transition time with them. And because of social media, they like taking pictures.
Yeah.
So I find social media has helped our industry because now kids are excited about taking good school pictures. But we make sure all kids feel good.
It's a feel-good business. I mean, I think that oftentimes we lose focus on the feel-good. We think about it from the economic benefit that we garner, as opposed to what's the actual experience that a person has. Now, it's a tight line because you can only give so much experience. I mean, we look at comparative numbers, decade to decade, century to century. We look at, at a time when we were running film and we could run 600 kids through a camera a day at the middle school, high school level. Elementary, probably about 400 to 500 in a day. That would be with a poser and a camera operator. And now we struggle to get up to 350 kids a day in this new world digital order. So our cost for photography, which Hawaii, California, the highest labor cost around, New York's got labor costs, other places have high labor costs too, but we do everything we can to try to minimize our labor output because it's just the margins get too darn thin as we add on additional cameras and that sort of thing. Unless it's an 85, 95% sales rate, then okay, we can afford this. But where we're getting into the 50% rate, and I know there are folks that'll say, well, why do them? Because there's a school in the area that needs the services that we're offering, and at 50%, we're okay with the margin that we get on it. We restrict the freebies that they get and a host of other things. The reality is those schools have to be done as well. So we look at all schools, whether they be a high percentage sale, whether the school buys it for everybody, or whether it's a lower percentage school. So, it's to each his own. Some people want to target a very finite market, but remember that finite market changes and you'll be all SOL. It's kind of like people complain about this big company came along and took all my schools. No, they weren't your school. The second was they didn't take them. You let them get away because they offered them something that you did not know about or were unwilling to offer. Good luck next time and keep it moving. Stay friends with them. It's not about you. It's not personal. Don't take it personal unless you really mess something up there. So that's a different soapbox to be on, but just FYI. Okay. Is there anything?
I have a thing to say too, though, and I'm going to go back to preschool photography. Preschool photography is a niche. Not every photographer can go in it and make kids feel comfortable. And what I've found since I've been in the community of SPAC and stuff, a lot of the bigger companies stay away from our preschools. So that's why we're fortunate to have this market that we love. Like Lauren, she does the cute stuff. And there's a lot of people that do the really cute preschool stuff. It's so adorable. And so I feel like the preschool market is a little different than the elementary school because we have a little bit more time. We have stronger relationships.
Yeah.
There isn't as high as turnover.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going into a boardroom trying to get a whole district.
Sure.
It's a little bit more, it's more personable.
Mm-hmm.
You say that right, Lauren?
It is. Absolutely. Yeah. I feel like in a big part of my business that is probably my favorite part of my business is building that personality driven brand that I can bond with these directors. We get to see these kids. I've got kids from the first school we did. They were in the nursery last year or 2 years ago. They were graduating pre-K. I'm not going to lie. I was tearing up just as much as their parents were. Like, you get to know these children. We're at these schools a minimum of twice a year. We're at some of our schools 5 times a year. So they get to know us. We get to know them. You get attached to people. And I feel like when you're treating your schools well, when you're treating your directors well, there's a loyalty there that Life Touch cannot touch. Teddy bear portraits cannot come in and build the relationships that you can build because they're sending someone different every time. And so for us, it's so important to me when I tell my girls, when they walk into a school, you get in Disney princess mode. You are there to make these kids feel the best they've felt all year. Like, I don't care if they're pitching a fit on that floor. You're telling them how much you love their outfit. Oh my gosh, your hair is so beautiful.
Find something good to say about every single subject.
Every single time. Yes.
It doesn't matter if it's a ribbon or beads in the hair or if it's a play tattoo on the hand or whatever it might be. Find something positive. It's one of those things that, and we know it's a lie. Every baby is pretty. But I love the outfit she's wearing.
Stop it.
I'm sorry.
Say that, Calvin. Stop.
You know me. I'm a truth teller. You know that.
I'll do that when you go into your schools.
I wanted to know something from Lauren. You said you went to a school 5 times a year. Can you tell me what that is?
Okay, so our standard that we offer our schools are at minimum fall and spring. We love to see our kids twice a year at the very least. They're growing in that 6 to 9 month period. They look completely different.
Sure.
From there, we also offer Christmas. We have a lot of most of our schools join in for Christmas. We, during the summer, offer black and white personality portraits to all of our schools. We have about half of them join in for that. This year, we have a school bringing us in for Grandparents' Day. So we'll be doing portraits of children with their grandparents. We're going to set up the grandparents and children for that in a very neutral, classic type background. We have 2 schools that are coming for back to school and then a separate date for fall. Our biggest, not our biggest school, but the most we're going to be there this year. We're going to do back to school, fall, Christmas, spring, and summer at 2 schools this year. So yeah, and honestly, with a lot of our schools, we have such a good relationship with them. Anytime they want us to come in, we're going to come in. We're going to send somebody to that school if they want Grandparents' Day covered, if they want muffins with mom covered, if they want we've started offering social media days for our teachers and our staff. Like, we're going to come in and go ahead and do your staff headshots, but while we're here, we're going to find out the kids that are allowed to be photographed within, the model release that you have through your school. And we're going to get inside classroom shots of your teachers teaching for you to use on your websites, on your social media. So we're building a really good foundation with our schools. When they join in with us, it becomes more of a relationship, and we're there for them. Like, I have a team. We're scaling into sports in K-12, but our preschool team, we have a team that will always only be in our preschool so that our preschools can get served anytime they need us.
And do you charge to go into these schools?
So no, when we first started, we gave a $25, like, parents would pay in $25. They would receive it back as a gift card towards their order. That was when I first started, was getting my feet wet. All of our new schools that we shoot on SPAC. So we still have several schools that do the registration, the pre-registration gift card. That actually pays my staff for the entire year. So it's fantastic knowing that all of our expenses for the year are covered with those. And then the ones that we're acquiring as we move forward are all shot on SPAC. Now, if we're going in for something like Grandparents' Day or something like that, I'll be honest, I'm not expecting to make much off of that. That's not going to be a large margin for us. I'm sending one of our assistant photographers to that, and making sure that everything looks great. But that's, for us, is relationship building. That's going to ensure that another mom with a camera that's kid is in K2 is not going to come in and snatch up our school, because they know everything that we offer them. So we do have our relationship building things that we bring in, and then we have our high margin stuff. Our spring, our fall, our Christmas covers all of our goals. Everything else is bonus from there.
Good for you. Good for you. Okay, let's go ahead and ask this last question. When is the marketing and canvassing time for this particular part of the industry?
So we work 12 months a year at acquisition. We have emails that go out every single Monday to our unbooked directors. With our standard director or our booked directors, they get emails once a month educating them on stuff about photo day, just helping them be able to answer questions really quickly to their parents. When we are going for a new school, I can't. If I have a school in fall, I've already booked them for spring and summer. We've already gotten all their dates as soon as we hit that school, the first time of the year, we're booking every date on the calendar. That calendar is with me. We are talking to that director that day. Like, if they had a great experience, I'm locking them in. And so if I'm going for new schools for fall, we're really targeting them after they've gotten through graduation in May. We give them a couple weeks to breathe after that, because our directors are really busy during that time. When it comes June, we're hitting them constantly with cold calls, emails, mailers, getting them for fall. If we are booking someone for spring who we've already tried to get for fall and they've either been booked with someone else already, or there's just a reason we can't make it to them in fall, we're starting in December, probably early to mid-December, starting to contact them with cold calls, but they're getting emails from me weekly.
And what systems are you using for your auto emailing?
Flowdesk.
Flowdesk.
Yeah.
And what is the ROI on the volume of contacts that you're having? How many times do people say, hey, I don't want this anymore? And how many accounts out of 100 as a barometer, how out of 100 clients that you're prospecting to, or prospective clients, when they're receiving this voluminous emails, how many of them are actually converting within the year?
Well, so the really cool thing about Flowdesk is that you can go in at whichever email you've sent. You can click on it to view results. You're going to see who all received it, if any of them bounced back, and then how many clicked on it and how many times. So I can go in and say, okay, this person opened my email. I can go in and it says they viewed that email 3 times. I'm calling them the next day.
Okay. All right.
I am now there. If someone unsubscribes, I'm calling them the next day. Like my goal with the emails is another way of you seeing my face. My face is in every single email. That's the first thing you see. Hey, I'm Lauren. I want to, I'm here to give you a great picture day experience. I want them to, it's just another touch point. And it seems like a lot of emails, but if you think about it, and my mentor even said this and really got me kind of out of my head with it. Old Navy emails me every single day. Mm-hmm. Walmart emails me every single day. Like whether I look at it or not, I'm getting those marketing emails. So it's just something that we're almost used to at this point. And so when I'm sending out my mailers and I'm sending out my emails, by the time I've called them, they already know who I am.
Yeah.
That's my goal with it.
Are you doing video emails?
I haven't. We actually have that on the docket for fall. We're actually doing a whole, we do content creation days each season to train our staff to get our posing down before we go into our schools. So it's the most efficient we can. And then we do updated headshots for our staff. And we're actually about to start doing, interview style videos that we can send out to our directors just for educational content.
Outstanding. So basically, from your perspective, marketing is a year-round process. Sales is a direct result of what you find in the data you're gathering through your market analysis, based on them receiving emails and either opening the email, not responding, opening the email or not. How many times do they see it? Oh, wait a minute. If they've looked 6 times, it may be that 6 different people actually looked at it because it's counting the actual number of times they see it, right?
It's counting the number of times they open the email.
Okay. So it could be that multiple people have actually seen the email or whatever information's with it. And would you say the same thing, that it's a year-round process, Nikki?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So,
folks spoiled, right?
Sure. You're isolated. Folks oftentimes, like
everybody kind of knows everybody in Hawaii.
Sure.
And I've been doing it too long for you not to know me. So now that I have more photographers, we're bringing on more schools.
Got it.
But I will say this: you never know who's in a room.
Yep.
You never know who you're talking to. You are your brand. Yep. And so it's very important for us in our industry to remember that when we're in public settings, that people are watching you. And so I've gotten schools just because I was at an event, right? Mm-hmm. So yes, you can email people. That's great. You can drop by, but also in your communities by doing things like fundraisers, nonprofit organizations, and things like that. You also meet these people. And then also going to director conferences are really strong. Those is another really great place to meet the people that make decisions.
Excellent. And I'll close it out by saying, so the idea is not really that there is a time to do marketing for our various audiences, for our various products, shall we say. It is constant and ongoing. And yes, we become a piece of the problem of this electronic communications world, because the cost is pennies to send emails, to actually get feedback, et cetera. So if at the end of the year you spent $20 on sending emails or whatever to a school, even if they don't respond, it's like $20. You can't buy that advertising, and you certainly can't drive over to that facility and have a face-to-face talk with somebody. I don't care where you are, for $20. You just can't do it. So that's it. There is no right time to get started. You need to just get started. That's the first thing. The second thing is, when's the best time to be selling is when people want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between marketing and sales. The marketing can accelerate the timeline in which people buy in, and they can reserve the date well in advance. But at the end of the day, they're not going to make a decision until such time that they are ready to make a decision. We got Len Weinstein here. Weinstein is here, and he's asking, where do you find these directors' conferences so that you can look into doing a larger volume and reaching a larger number of people in an in-person environment? Do either of you have any of that information?
So I'm not sure what's in the States, but it's called HAYCE. It's an organization for young, for preschools. We also have a program called Patch that I contact. Patch is in Hawaii. Patch gives families information of all the preschools. That's where you get your list of all the preschools that are opening and who the directors are and how many kids they are. I would call also maybe one of your schools and ask them when they have a conference. You know, you probably have a relationship with somebody, but in Hawaii, do you have something like that? Is there like a main hub where everybody gets like, they can apply for scholarships for college? I mean, for preschools, they can get a list of all the preschools. Do you have? I
haven't had a preschooler in 28 years, so I don't know.
Yeah, so our program is called Patch, and it's open to everybody. It's a state organization, and you just go.
Patch, P-A-T-C-H?
Ours is Patch, but
okay.
HAYCE is the National Organization for Early Childhood. And they have conferences in Chicago and in California. And those are the big ones, right? HAYCE.
What do the letters stand for?
Ooh, good one. I don't know.
Sorry.
Something association of young.
Yeah, of young children.
Yeah, young children education, like that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We actually, if you go on your state DHR website, you can look up every DHR licensed, like any daycares, any preschools, anything like that has DHR licensing, and it has their address, their phone numbers, their directors' names. It has everything except the director emails.
Wow.
That would be really smart. Go to licensing. What is smart? Yeah, that's another one too.
Yeah, that little tidbit right there is going to make somebody that's watching this make money.
Yeah.
And we thank you guys for joining us. This has been extremely, I think an hour is gone. We've gotten great questions, gotten great answers. I truly appreciate you being here. I'm trying to bring, Corey is sitting there. I see her, but I'm not sure if she's live or not. And I'm going to bring her on board. Maybe we can get her. Maybe we can't. It doesn't look, oh, we got her, but she's blurred. Okay, Corey, you're kind of out there in the all right, folks, I'm gonna take her back out, and we'll talk in a minute on the phone. But I want to let you know that Corey and her team have been, they've been hitting it hard, banging hard. New websites are coming. The Hoover app is being totally updated with new information. Of course, don't expect the speakers to be on the list at the very beginning, because those speakers have to make sure that they're committed, et cetera, et cetera. And at the end of the day, you're not going for one speaker or two speakers. You're going for the community. And when I say that, I'm saying it to the extent that you're going to connect with other people that have success in the industry that you want to grow and have greater success. That's really the purpose here. You know, it's kind of like, if you go to Harvard, you go to Harvard not for the education, you go to Harvard for the connections.
Yeah.
Folks don't recognize that. We're going to Harvard for the connections more than we are for the class content. Because if you come out of Harvard and during your journey at Harvard, as well as many other fine educational institutions throughout the country or the world, once you leave that arena, you have made connections with people that you would never be able to make if you stayed in Los Angeles, perhaps. So it's just understand that. You're coming for the programming and the show, the trade show, which is the biggest in the industry. It's absolutely phenomenal. We have more vendors this year than we did last year. And last year we were pushing out at the seams. So I'm excited about what we have coming aboard, and I certainly hope you're getting excited too. We're down in the count house. As of the 1st, we're only 6 months away from actually being on the floor in Las Vegas. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. If you joined us today in this live broadcast, if you watch us later, thank you for joining us. Look out for the website to be launched, along with the process for registering and whatnot, and the early bird to be launched within the next week or so. It's coming first week of August. We're going to make it all happen. We appreciate you all being here. Thank you, Lauren, and thank you, Nikki. We absolutely appreciate you being a part of our program. Have a wonderful day.
Love SPAC.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's get busy, folks. Start of the new year. It's right here because it's our new year. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.